We get above the 20. This is not a break, that's a lean. But look at the power, look at the violence, look at the oomph, look at that surge. We dive into the green off the 20 MA halt. You put your money into the first power green. I'm going to repeat that, traders. You put your money into the first power green. You can wait toward the end of the power green. That's a 2-minute power green bar. You can wait for a minute 45 seconds, a minute 50 seconds. Just don't let that 2-minute finish without putting your money inside of that bar. Your money is inside of the first power green. I'm going to repeat that again. Your money is inside of the first power green off of the 20 MA halt. We are going to be 20 MA halt experts. Put your money inside of the first power green off the 20 MA halt. Now, once your money is in the bar, your protection is under the bar's low. Simple. Money in the bar, protective stop, 1 penny under the bar. Don't lose the bar. Listen, traders, this is one of my number 1 trading precepts. Don't generally lose more than 1 bar. Think about this. You go inside of a bar, your protection's underneath the bar. You got that? You go inside the bar, protection's underneath the bar. You buy the bar, protection's underneath. You buy the bar, protection's underneath. You buy the bar, protection's underneath. And check this out. If you lose on the vast majority of your trades, you lose just 1 bar. Guess what your winners are going to do? You're going to win 5 bars, but lose 1 bar. You're going to win 10 bars, but lose 1. You're going to win 3 bars, but lose 1. You're going to win 40 bars, but lose 1. Every loss is going to be 1 bar, but your wins will be 40 bars, 20 bars, 10 bars, 2 bars, 4 bars, 19 bars, 11 bars, 6 bars, 7 bars, 80 bars. But you'll always limit your loss to 1 bar. This is what's going to keep you in this business forever. This is going to prevent you from being a chronic loser. This is going to keep you out of trouble. This is going to prevent you from blowing up your account. This concept, 1 bar losses. You got that? You got it. All right, good. Let's go. Let's keep going. This is amazing. So we're putting our money into the bar off the 20. We're putting our protective stop 1. Look at what our risk is. Guys, this is today. Right after 10 o'clock Eastern time, New York time. Boom! And look at your potential gain. Now, guys, I'm always telling my traders, you have to be a snowman trader. Your loss is the head of the snowman. Now, look, here's a snowman. I don't know if those of you who, I grew up in New York. We used to have snowstorms, and I used to love snowstorms because I'd go out and build my, this is an upside down snowman. But you want fat profits. Do you understand? That's little feet. But you want fat profits. See how fat that snowman is? You want fat profits, but you want little losses. There's my loss. Now, how many heads of this snowman fit inside of that body? A lot. That's proper trading. That's proper risk management. The snowman approach to trading, that's keeping your losses significantly smaller than your potential gains. That's what's going to keep you in this business. That's what's going to prevent you from blowing up. That's what's going to send you to that very desirable state we call mastery in trading. This is one of the #1 rules you can apply, guys. Never lose more than 1 bar. That's the 20 MA halt, guys. Remember the criteria because I'm going to speed through this time. All right. Stock spends a decent amount of time under a declining 20. Stock from under the 20 gets height above the 20. Criteria 2. The pullback halts at the 20 and gives you a power green bar, which you buy before the power green bar finishes. 15 seconds, 20 seconds before the 2 minutes is finished. Boom! You're in the bar. Your money is inside that bar. Your protection is right under that bar's low. And that's that wonderful sound that I want you to get very used to. All right? That's that wonderful sound. You got it? We're going to get used. I want you to get used to get used to that sound. I know I'm crazy, guys, but I know, listen, some of you have that sound. Some of you have it like this. But we want it to be like this. All right, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. I promise. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Now, here's a cryptocurrency, guys. This is Solana. All right. All right. Now, I'm not saying that you should trade these things. I'm just showing you that I'm going to show you basically every market and how it doesn't matter what market you go to. It's the same thing because human beings are the same no matter what market they move to. It's human beings moving these things. It's not Martians. It's not people from some intergalactic universe or galaxy out there. No, it's human beings. And human beings are moved by the same emotions. And it doesn't matter whether you put a cryptocurrency market in the hands of a human being, whether you put an options market, whether you put a Forex currency market, whether you put an equity market, whether you put options market, whether you put futures market, the human being is the same. Human beings are always the same. They're always moved by the same thing. It doesn't matter what's in their hands. And you're going to see the same thing play out in every single market. All right? And so here's our declining 20-period moving average. Here's the stock having spent a great deal of time under the 20. That's criteria 1. This is today. All right? Stock, you see how here the stock doesn't get real height. You see, that's problematic. You really want height. See the height? That's preferable. The height is preferable where you have some space between the stock or the item and the 20. Now we pull back. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Boom! Look at the power green. Look at the surge. Look at the violence. You're going in this bar. Now, I want to give you something a little extra here. If your power green bar eliminates a nice, sizable, fat red bar, you don't have to, you can go in right there. So here's a little bar. Some of my traders would get in right above the red right there. Boom. And that's cool too because their stop is so close. But it's the fat one that you really want a decent size red to be taken out. So boom, that's your key. Some of my traders would buy there. Some of my traders would buy there. It's the significant bar removal that's really the key. You see? This is okay too. Color change at or near that 20 MA halt. So a lot of people say, well, Oliver, you know, what about this one? It just didn't get enough height for me. I like the height. Do you understand? I like that height. And then boom. All right. Good. All right. Starting to come together here now. Up, here's another one. All right. Polygon. All right, guys, listen. These are all nonsensical cryptocurrencies to me. I'm a pure maximalist Bitcoiner. I'm just trying to show you, right? I'm trying to show you that no matter what market you go to, Oliver Velez's voice is going to be in your head. I'm going to be in your head as these 20 MA halt plays form and 2-minute charts in and every other time frame for that matter. No matter where you go, I'm going to be there. All right. Now, here we're under a declining 20-period moving average. All right. This doesn't really get enough height, but this does. We pull back. There's the halt. Boom. Now, when can I really enter this? When, see that red bar right there? When that red bar gets taken out, boom. Money goes in here. Protection goes right under. This is your risk. Uh-oh, here's that snowman again. Oh! And it's so appropriate that we're dealing with the snowman concept because in certain areas in the world, it's going to start snowing. I love it. I love this. Now, guys, I'm not talking too much about profit taking today. That's a different topic, but you all should know, if you follow my work, that I teach my traders to take profits when you get distances away from the 20. When you get distances away from the 20, you're due for a setback, right? The same way when you get distances away to the downside, you're poised for a snapback. All right? So it's distance away, distance away, distance away. All right? Different topic, but I want to teach you all the topics if you'll let me. All right, guys. Here's my baby. Here's Bitcoin. Here's a two-minute chart of Bitcoin. Again, what's criteria number one? This is today. Spends a decent period of time under the 20. Doesn't get too much height there, but gets decent height there. Now, this might be a little tricky, guys. This might be a little tricky. You can buy this off the 20 here. But the real power bar is here. And so some traders will come in right there. Boom! Why? Because that power green is eliminating a decent chunky red. You haven't really accomplished anything until you've eliminated a chunky red. Chunky red. And so some traders just wait for the chunky red, did that wrong, the chunky red to be eliminated. That's the chunky red. This red is not so chunky, right? But this one is, and that's when it's taken out. Boom, right off that 20-period moving average. Now, if you're entering right here, boom, uh-oh, you're entering right there, look at where your stop is. Look at my wrist. Look at that snowman. All right. Look at that snowman. You want a fat snowman with a tiny little head. All right. Now, how many of those little heads fit into that body? That's how you stay in business, guys. That's how you outperform. All right, guys. Same thing with this is guys looking at the same thing. All right. Remember, I'm going to point your attention to this. This doesn't kind of get height. This does. You pull back, and your first buy is really here, guys. Look. Why? Because this is chunky enough for me. Boom! Right there. Protection is there. But there's nothing wrong with this one either. And the rest is history.